have with me my mom and sister. We are going to explore Querétaro a little bit because it is their first time in the city, so come and join us. Welcome to Querétaro. This is a city that will leave you in awe because it's so beautiful and charming. One of the best things you can do is walk around the andadores, which are pedestrian-friendly streets. They are full of restaurants, cafes, and shops with unique souvenirs. We're at Plaza de Armas. The Centro is an art lover's dream. There are always different kinds of interactive art displays set up, and they change every few months, keeping things fresh and so interesting. Don't miss the free museum called Museo de los Conspiradores, which tells the story of key figures in Mexico's history who led to the country's independence.
It looks like a little village, like very European. Yes.
Walking around by foot is an amazing way to see this beautiful area. However, if you're interested in exploring it in a different way, then you should go to Jardín de la Corregidora and take the Querebus tour.
It must have like a certain amount.
¡Ánimo! Preciosas, más bellas que las rosas, más bellas que las estrellas.
I didn't know it at the time, but apparently this man is kind of famous around the city. He goes around cheering people up and yelling "Ánimo." Now this tour is good if you want to see some iconic places like Corregidora Street, the river, and of course the iconic aqueduct.
Es uno de los castillos más bonitos de nuestra ciudad, el cual antiguamente era un molino de granos.
While you're on the Querebus, the tour guide will share lots of different facts and stories about the city. For example, there is an interesting legend tied to the aqueduct. Apparently, a Spanish nobleman built it to please a nun who he had fallen in love with, or so the story goes. What's interesting is that you can still see the fountains around the city where the aqueduct used to lead to. They were owned by the wealthy, and even though this aqueduct no longer works, it serves as an iconic symbol for the city. The tour also includes a 15-minute stop at Plaza de los Fundadores. Across it is Templo de la Cruz, which is a beautiful temple that I love taking pictures in front of. If you decide to follow the guide, he will take you into a local candy shop where the owner will be ready to serve you different samples. Overall, this tour is a good way to see the city if you want to do so in an hour. Just remember that it's all in Spanish. While we were walking around and admiring the beautiful views of the Centro, my sister spotted a tattoo and piercing shop, so I asked if they had any availability, and they said yes, so she walked in, filled out a form, and got her ears pierced. The man doing the piercing was really nice, so I would recommend this place. They were also very hygienic and professional. Looks good. Mama, see your milanesa? This restaurant was so good. We ordered tortas and loved them so much that we actually came back a few more times during our trip. So this restaurant is a 10 out of 10 in our books. After spending the day in the Centro, we decided to walk back to the cementerio area where we were staying, and to our luck, we ended up finding a man and his son selling cut-up fruit. This fruit was the best. Christine has her mango. Mom wanted the mixed fruit. And I also got puro mango. What do you guys think of the fruit here in Mexico? One of my favorite things is the city's emphasis on green spaces, such as Jardín Zenea, where you can sit down and relax.
¿Esta rosa cuánto estaría?
Es del mismo precio, mira, tengo como esta y tengo de estos.
From colorful purses to mugs, you will truly find anything being sold in the Centro. One of the most common things are lele dolls. They're so common that you'll even find them on the stoplights. Lele in the indigenous language Otomi means baby, and they're handcrafted by indigenous communities in and around the city of Querétaro.
Right now we're at Mirador de los Arcos, which is a great place to see the city, so I would recommend coming here.
I've been here a few times and normally there are lots of people taking pictures, however on this day it was empty and I think that was due to the intense heat. It was around 38 degrees and there wasn't really anywhere to shield ourselves from the intense sun, so we decided to snap our pictures and head off to a restaurant. We ended up finding Mr. Hywel, which is a delicious seafood restaurant, and Alan and I have actually been here before. We wrote on the walls and I was able to spot the writing this time around. On this day in particular, my mom, sister, and I decided to order fish tacos, which were unsurprisingly absolutely delicious. They come with a lot of fresh toppings, and we also had cucumber celery juice to go along with it. It was very refreshing. If you're a fan of supporting local style restaurants, then you should definitely check this place out. The owner came and chatted with us and made sure my mom and sister left their mark on the wall. After continuing to walk around, we decided to get an agua fresca, which is kind of like flavored water. The kind we got was Jamaica or hibiscus water, and it was so good as always. Another way to see the city is the tram or Tranvía tour. It's similar to the Querebus. It leaves every hour and the meetup point is the same spot, Jardín de la Corregidora.
Monumento a la Corregidora, Estadio de la Corregidora, Municipio de Corregidora, Biblioteca Primaria, Universidad Secundaria y todo dedicado a la Corregidora. Acá se gestaron las ideas y allá nació el movimiento Querétaro. Del lado derecho alcanzamos a ver aguas al sentarse. ¿A qué voy con esto? En la parte de enfrente, a esta altura, vivían los españoles, justamente ahí cruzando. Pero un poco más adelante, igual en la parte de enfrente,
the tram tour offers two different routes. We decided to take the one that goes to Cerro de las Campanas, which is a nice park. There is a 6 peso entry fee that you will have to pay on top of the 140 that it costs to go on this tour.
así que pues más bien estamos como en el lugar de las dos mentiras, ni cerro ni campanas. Es parque nacional y estas son las campanas, que hoy saben que son piedras que tienen minerales y de ahí el sonido tan peculiar como el de una campana. ¿Vale? Acompáñenme a la...
If you don't speak Spanish but you want to understand the significance of this place, then I would recommend reading about the history of the execution that occurred here prior to coming, because that's what the guide talks about. And if you're not really that interested in history, then it's still a good tour to do, just to see more places in the city, as it is a nice park with an interesting chapel.
El fusilamiento de Maximiliano de Habsburgo fue en este lugar, como ya habíamos dicho. Pero resulta que Maximiliano interrumpe el fusilamiento.
So the reason this place is called Cerro de las Campanas is because the rocks sound like bells.
As much as I love guided tours, I don't think that they're necessary to really see the city. You can explore much of it just by walking around. However, if you're trying to decide between the Querebus or the Tranvía tour, I would recommend the former just because it's a bit more fun being on the double-decker bus. Afterwards, we decided to check out a few different bookstores. I'm a bookworm, so I cannot say no to books.
I don't know the price of this book, so I'm going to check right here.
I love documenting my experience in Querétaro, so if you're interested in learning about more places and seeing what I tend to get up to while I'm here, feel free to check out my other videos. Thank you so much for watching.